Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dota League season number 3. It's gonna be Crypsis versus HEHE will someday be united. It's only, what, an hour and 20 minutes late almost, past the initial start time, but that's what happens when some games go to 70 minutes plus. But we're here, we're HeflaTV, I'm Coacher, and joined by Mike Lores for this game.
Yeah, about an hour is standard for how long joint Dota games are usually delayed, on average, I would say. And it's, well, we're finally into this game. HEHE coming off of a 1-1 series. The second game kind of rushed by them, so I don't think it was truly accurate of what they could do. But they're going to be going up against Crypsis, who, taking a quick look at joint Dota, were struggling recently, though they do have a lot of really nice names on their team. Maybe they just don't work very well together.
Yeah, at least I think like half of them have played together before in the previous Meteor Makers lineup. I do believe they were in existing crit for sure. Quicks was standing in for them as well quite often then. So I guess it's just a period where the teams have to find the glue that just keeps them together. For some teams it's kind of the opposite. They form, they rape like the first month or two when they came, and after that they just completely fall off. Maybe hopefully for Crypsis it's the other way around, just struggling to begin with and then just getting stronger, but we will see as we're in the draft. Skyriff Mage first pick for Crypsis of all heroes, so they get the Faceless Void, and what's their second pick gonna be here?
Well, they can't take the Skywrath Mage. Going for Death Prophet is also not on the table, so as far as heroes to synergize with Faceless Void that are also on the top of the charts to be picked, there aren't that many. Doom is always a nice hero to pick up no matter what, so they might just want to go for that one, just get a nice safe hero to pick up, but Shadow Shaman is a decent hero to combo with Faceless Void with those Serpent Wards. Could be a nice pick as well, also denying that pair up to Crypsis. Wouldn't mind seeing either of those two heroes.
Yeah, neither would I really. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be opposed to, or wouldn't have been at least opposed to an Ancient Apparition even, but it was a Mirana pick instead, so Crypsis, will they pick up a Doombringer, or are we seeing one of those rare games when that hero is just overlooked?
Well, against Faceless Void and Mirana, that Doom is going to get some pretty nice value as far as shutting down escapes, but it looks like Crypsis instead want to go for a very early Nature's Prophet. Been seeing this hero being picked up a little bit earlier nowadays, but still not entirely convinced that he is the end-all, like should not be picked up this early, but we'll see this game, because they will get a little bit of pushing power off of this, and if they play it a little bit aggressively, then they could transition early ganks into early towers, which could very well just snowball you into a one game.
Yeah, it definitely can, and well, they do make sure that the most annoying counter pusher pretty much in the game is banned out, taking out the Tinker almost immediately in the second phase. He of course, Shadow Shaman to follow, just limiting the pushing resources.
Yeah, so Tinker is also going to be banned out from Crypsis. It looks like Crypsis actually do want to go really deep into the pushing lineup. Otherwise, the reason to ban out Tinker is just because it's an annoyance. It's a dangerous hero to play against for sure, but I think Crypsis are going to look to push off of this because they've banned out the best counter pusher in the game.
Well, we'll see what they take out as the secondary one here. I mean, what heroes really come to mind at the moment? They need some supports. That's most likely. I mean, Wraith King is a potential hero to ban out. Maybe even an Earthshaker. Earthshaker Mirana +1, definitely not a bad tri-lane by any means. And Earthshaker is pretty good against Nature's Prophet as well.
Well, if they really want to get a lot of pushing on the board, then going for the Enigma wouldn't be a terrible pickup either. They'll have a whole bunch of units that throw out towers, and their hand will be forced to pick up a little bit of AoE, because right now they don't really have any. So that could be a way Crypsis want to go. Otherwise, going for the more vanilla heroes that you were saying before could also work very well. Picking up a support for Skywrath Mage to partner up with really any hero does it pretty well. Getting a place stun is going to be fantastic. So Earthshaker, Wraith King, VS, those types of heroes would be great.
Yeah, well, Crypsis, they do actually ban out an Enigma, so for the that's out of the question. No Chronosphere Black Hole combinations, no minor push with the Eidolons of their own, so we'll see what he want to just ban out in return now, the fourth one to be. I guess something like a Jack hero wouldn't be too bad, possibly, if Crypsis want to go for it, but I do have to agree that just some solid stuns are never amiss in a lineup, really.
Yeah, you're never going to complain that your lineup has too many stuns. It's just not going to happen. Looks like Cryptis actually do ban out the Enigma, which is very interesting. I don't know if he would have gone for that, but Enigma with Faceless Void is pretty deadly. But I don't know, Crypsis, they're not really showing a clear sign as to how they're going to continue on with this lineup of theirs.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard at the moment, or well, just to predict what the hell either side really is going to pick up. Well, for HEHE it might be a little bit more straightforward with something like an Ancient Apparition or Witch Doctor, something along those lines to be picked up, just to combo up with the Faceless Void, possibly an Invoker as well.
Yeah, those heroes will all be really nice for he to pick up, especially I think that Witch Doctor. Getting this nice setup stun from Mirana also has huge synergy with the Faceless Void. Can't really go wrong with that, and the Invoker will be able to counter somewhat the Nature's Prophet pushing, but I still don't think Crypsis are going to want to go fully into that push. Invoker is always going to be a good hero with Faceless Void, but I mean, if he has a proper setup with someone else setting up the stun for Mirana, then that'll be really good. So probably Invoker a little bit later, not quite at this pick.
Well, we'll see what they want to go for. They have plenty of reserve time left to just make the decision, try to figure out the best possible solution for them at the moment, or I mean, I guess if they really want to, they could go for a Disruptor as well. Try to mess with the enemy, but it's not a hero you see too common, and at the moment don't think it's really necessary against what Crypsis has. It is decent enough setup with the Faceless Void, just Chrono first, then Kinetic Field, Static Storm to follow. Maybe the other way around if you get a pretty nice opening yourself, but I still think something like an Earthshaker, Brave King, something along those lines would be nice for HEHE. Maybe even the Shadow Demon. Just, you can use it aggressively to set up arrows, or defensively when somebody gets Mystic Flare, but nope, HEHE, they go for their IO.
Alright, so we're going to be seeing some Wisp action this game. Great counter to Nature's Prophet. You could follow him anywhere he goes around the map. And then, of course, there's the question of who does the Wisps go with as far as his tether partner. We saw Wisp Tiny a little bit earlier, and I think that was actually last night, so never mind. But Wisp is on the field, and Tiny is normally the hero to be picked up with Wisp. In this game, I think they could get away with going for pretty much anyone, in fact. Like, there's no huge reason to pick up Tiny as opposed to an Ursa or a Gyrocopter even, so Wisp has a lot of flexibility right now.
Yeah, I do believe they do like to run the Gyrocopter, and with the Faceless Void it would synergize pretty nicely as well, just Chronosphere into Cooldown. Cooldown decent enough to stop the pushes as well from Nature's Prophet, for example. So I wouldn't mind that hero at all. Just go up close with the Tether movement speed, Rocket Barrage, burst somebody down completely. And I mean, even Homing Missile would still be able to hit Sand King nowadays, I do believe. So, wouldn't be a bad pick.
Yeah, so maybe they're going to pull something really strange out of the hat. Would love to see them run something a little bit differently. Kind of tired of the usual Wisp Tiny, but Tiny is always going to be a really nice hero to pick up, pretty much no matter what with your Wisp. Because a late game Wisp Tiny is very rarely going to lose a game, especially when they have Faceless Void, Chronosphere backup. Like, losing the game at that point, you're going to have to try really hard to do it. Crypsis, with their Sand King pick, is going to shore up their supports. A little bit more on the defensive side, a little more defensive than I thought they would be. Sky's Mage Sand King can roam from level 1 and try to get some early kills to propel Sand King into level 3, but for the most part it's going to be a rather passive start, I think, from Crypsis.
Yeah, just stack up the jungle, farm the top. Of course, when you have a Sand King and a offlane hero like Nature's Prophet who can actually go into the jungle if the offlane is god horrible for him, then that does mean that either Sand King can't get the farm or just Nature's Prophet can't get the farm, either or. So I'm hoping that Nature's Prophet will do well enough on his own lane and just leave the Sand King to farm up that extremely fast Blink Dagger. Of course, if they want to go for an aggressive tri-lane, for example, that is one of the best ways possible to stop the Sand King from just getting the free time. Although, I don't know if IO Earthshaker plus possibly Mirana will be the best of aggressive tri-lanes to set up kills, but if you get the Fisher block, I guess kills aren't that hard.
Yeah, Wisp in a tri-lane actually isn't that strong. He's fairly vulnerable despite being a strength hero, and his balls are sometimes nice, but usually they aren't the most amazing thing in the world. Looks like Silencer is going to be banned out. Crypsis, they picked themselves up a Viper just to solidify their lanes a little bit more. And, well, they're looking to be a pretty sturdy lineup, not really too focused into any particular category as far as pushing or team fighting or ganking or anything like that, but they have a good mix of everything. They could do it all with Nature's Prophet split pushing, Viper and Sand King for the real tanky front line, and, well, he have a little bit more in the team fight as their pick is, in fact, the Earthshaker. With the Mirana, I think going to be supporting, or Mirana playing core rather. Wisp is most likely going to be running a dual lane, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they can go for almost any dual lane at the moment. Although, I do believe that, or at least for the time being, that it might even be a Mirana mid lane. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of her because Her attack damage is rather weak early on. Attack animation not the best either, really. So I'm not too sure whether he will actually pick up a proper mid laner now. Maybe possibly something to partner up with the IO in the mid lane. But up against the Viper, any IO dual lane might not succeed to the extent that they're hoping for. And actually Chaos Knight was banned, so he picking up a Morphling now. So Morphling mid against Viper possibly?
Well, it's not the best lane for Morphling, but this is actually the second time I've seen a team ban out CK against a team with the Wisp, which is, I mean, I would have loved to see a CK just because I haven't seen him in such a very long time. It would have been a nice breath of fresh air, but Morphling is a decent enough combination with Wisp. You could have the Wisp stack up the camps on the Radiant side, get a couple of double stacks going on there, and then Morphling with Waveform will eventually be able to kill them off, and maybe even Earthshaker reaping a couple of the benefits as well. As the last pick from Crypsis is actually going to be the Jakiro. Very interesting pick. Is this going to mean we have a core Skywrath mage?
Yeah, it's very well possible at the moment. I mean, I can't really say who is playing what role for them, but I mean, Senya, I think that's how you pronounce it, kind of, the Skywrath mage, but can't say 100%, but I think so. In any case, it very well might be mid. It's either that or really a Jakiro, I guess, at the moment. So I would prefer Skywrath.
Yeah, Skywrath mid versus a dual lane, though. It's really a glass cannon hero, the Skywrath mage. I feel like there's no reason to put him there when you could just as easily put Viper there. It might just be an aggressive tri-lane of Jakiro, Sand King, and Skywrath mage, and in that situation, who gets the farm is pretty irrelevant because it's going to be all about the kills. Setting up for the Sand King Burrow Strike is going to be a little bit difficult for Crypsis, but if they do get that together, then they can very easily kill whoever's in that lane. Even in the Faceless Void, if he has a Time Walk, it may not be enough for him.
Yeah, and well, we do get the pause. Oh, unpaused straight away. Didn't even ask anything. Well, that's awesome, but we are here, and to introduce the lineups to you guys, Crypsis up on the Dire side, Mango Banana will be playing the Nature Prophet, leaving Exist on the Viper, Senya on the Skywrath Mage, which will be supporting in the end after all, with Crit on a Sand King, and leaving Quicks on a safe lane farming Jakiro.
Alright, and on the HEHE side, Chips is going to be playing the Mirana once again. Earthshaker is once again going to be handled by Fire. Up in the mid lane, we got Nihis on the Wisp. Should be waiting for the Morphling friend just a little bit, but Techno Roshan is going to be soloing the off lane as that Void. And where is that Morphling? He's actually going down towards the bottom lane, being played by HWA. Could it be a solo mid lane Wisp?
It sure looks like it at the moment. I'm not 100% sure if I saw it from HEHE before. I know somebody played it within the last month or so. Might or might not have been Nihis, and well, I've seen it before, but that was like a year or more ago by now as well, so it can work out for sure. Whether it will is a whole different matter though.
Yeah, Wisp, as far as laning is concerned, I said before, is fairly vulnerable despite being a strength hero. Starting off with 0 base armor does not help at all when he's going to go toe-to-toe versus a Viper. Having the extra levels is certainly very useful, but that's at the expense of lane control. So he's definitely not a hero that wins the lane. He's another hero that survives it. The question is, can he survive against the Viper? Because the harassment is going to be, I think, just way too much for the Wisp to deal with.
Yeah, that might very well be so. He has to stay at a pretty safe distance, but man, up against a Viper, he is gonna struggle for sure, I think. Just one right click does so much damage since you do have 0 base armor plus poison attack to follow up, but Fire, he has an Invis Room chip sign, tries to angle himself correctly as well, although the body block was much better from Exist than from Nihis.
Yeah, the Wisp actually tethered up the range creep to try to get him killed faster so that in a little bit the creep wave will be on his side of the river, but this Viper with level 1 Nether Toxin is going to mean that it's impossible for the Wisp to outlast it. And like the Wisp has a slight, he has some decent damage with his 2 gauntlets, but outlast hitting Nether Toxin is really, really hard, and the balls aren't going to help either. So Viper should have this lane more or less on lockdown, which is to be expected. The Wisp just wants to get his experience. Anytime they go for Mango Banana down the bottom lane, that's a complete block, and the arrow's going to fly, will hit perfectly onto that Nature Prophet. It looked for a second as if it was going to miss, but it's the Morphling that draws the kill early on. First blood for the Morphling. That's a great start for him.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best starts you want to kind of ask for. I mean, a core like a Morphling who definitely needs the early farm to actually be relevant during the game at all. So, really nice first blood. I also thought that the arrow will miss actually, or not miss, but get dodged rather. But I guess the angling of the Fisher made it so that there was nowhere too much to run. So, nice first blood. But Faces Void is also struggling in his own offlane at the moment. Not yet level 2, down to half HP, so Shenya just keeps on harassing with those arcane bolts.
And if he gets a little bit too out of position, like right now, he could very well go down. Burst Strike is there from Crit. Techno Roshan has a time walk, he just now hits level 2, but his only chance is to go south into the river. Will the damage be enough? It looks like it will just barely not be enough. The salve is now out and Faces Void. Fortunately for him, he will get some experience due to the neutrals being killed, and that's going to give him his chance to survive. Otherwise, he would have easily gone down.
Yeah, it was really a matter of that Senya, he actually didn't have enough time for his clarity to bring him high enough on mana. One more arcane bolt definitely would have done the job there, unless backtracked and just locked out, but they didn't even get to try, no chance for them even. And actually he picks up the regeneration room while being tethered to Techno, so both of them get full HP and mana now. As Chipsign, he's gonna go for attempt number 2 onto Exist, who is pretty damn low in the mid lane already.
Yeah, he took a face full of those Wisp Spirits, and the arrow will whiff. I don't think they can get the kill now, although they're definitely going to try. The balls explode on midway, but they're going to summon some more. That's going to be a kill on the Viper. With Chipson taking the tower aggro, teleportation coming in from the Nature's Prophet. They can turn around and put some serious damage on this hero. They will do so. Nature's Prophet, what are you doing? Here comes Roshan, and he will hit Nice once, which will be a little bit annoying, but who cares? They got 2 kills on this mid lane. 3-0 is the advantage for HEHE. Maybe this is why in the last set, Wisp was banned out first against them.
Yet, I mean, they really like to utilize that hero, and they do it pretty damn often as well. Whether it be a support as well, as you can see, even in the mid lane, so just mixing things up. But bottom lane, Nature's Prophet, if he overextends even by a little bit, he might get Fissure blocked once again. Fire, he's hanging around with the smoke, he's gonna go for it as well. Is he going to use the Fissure? Yes, he is! Hava, he has level 2 waveform, will it be enough if you want to right clicks? No, Mango Banana. He eats his way through with a nice tango there, so Fissure block not complete.
Yeah, but it was a good attempt regardless, putting a little bit more damage on the Nature's Prophet. I don't think there was any way to actually lock him in with that range, so it's a good attempt from the Earthshaker nonetheless. Faces Void is still really struggling up on the top lane. Mango Banana is going to get a little bit more experience, and I think Nature's Prophet, I mean, he's playing so far back, it might just be time to go into the jungle and try to get something there, although Chips is rotating around as the level 3 Mirana is just spotting out the lack of stacks in the Crypsis camp, but I think he's just going to camp the mid lane from here on out, because if Wisp has someone to tether to get into close range for those balls to land, then that's really all he needs in order to get a kill, and Chips is going to dive around very deeply, although he will end up pulling the aggro. A little bit of a mistake there, which means no kill is going to happen. In the meantime, top lane, Quicks with his level 2 Liquid Fire is going to put some serious hurt on this tower. With the siege creep there, they will bring this down, and they're going to look for Techno Roshan. They're going to find him as well. Crit is going to force the time walk out, but really, it's going to be the tower that's going to go down. HEHE don't want to defend this, can't defend this.
Yeah, actually one tip is coming in from Nihi's Chipsign. The arrow will not land, unfortunately for them. They should be safe, but leap from Chipsign is going so damn deep. Ancient Seal to slow him down, but the Wisp Spirit, they get 1 kill. Can they quit Quicks as well? The time walk goes through, Tether slow to follow up. One more right click. As Nihi's double kill for him, and he's level 6 now. Oh, he's relocating, but...
Wisp.
What? Oh man, he didn't take anybody with him.
Yeah, so he is going to jump back to the base just for a little while, and then, well, he'll get yanked back, and, well, bottom lane, another fissure set up onto Mango Banana. I don't know how they got that fissure angle, but yeah, that definitely happened. The tower also on top was not destroyed. It's actually now deniable. Crypsis, they're 6-0 down in this game, and it's not looking good for them. If they got the tower, maybe, but the tower's denied is just so crippling. Again, I think this comes back to their lineup. It's just so spread out all over the place.
Well, Mango Banana, he did TP in and just backdoor the tier 1 at the moment at least, so getting some nice gold from that, but I have to agree, Sand King, he really doesn't have any stacks to work with either at the moment to just catch up, get that really fast Blink Dagger. Unless they start getting some extremely aggressive kills now, which they're just hoping for such a long time. And Crit actually, since he hasn't died, he does have 1.2k in the bank, so he's not looking that bad, but just how can there be no stacks for him to farm?
And now Mango Banana going to be going to the jungle, so most likely the stacks are not going to be coming up for quite a long time. Chipson is in a little bit of trouble, but level 1 Burrow Strike still on the Sand King. Fairly useless. Actually, they're going to bring a whole bunch of heroes down here. I don't know what the point of this is, except for wasting money, and I don't think wasting money is a good way to spend your time. I mean, this is really scary for Crypsis, because really their top lane, the purpose was to get kills and to push the tower. Ultimately, they did take it, but they're not getting any kills in that Faces Void, and they have to worry about this Morphling, who's going 1v0 or 2v0 on this bottom lane is farming up an absolute storm, and Crypsis don't have a hero to meet him come late game.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I would be pretty damn scared if I was Crypsis at the moment. Especially since Faces Void. Actually, they're going for quicks to relocate game even from He's the time locks, they come out. The overcharge just putting out the attack speed. Chipsign helps out and actually gets the kill for himself. But Faces Void just getting even closer to level 6. Waveform onto Mango Banana. The Fisher comes out as well on the wrong side. But Hava, man, he was so close to just getting the kill there. One right click away.
Yeah, very close to the kill, but at least forcing the Nature's Prophet to back off in the lane. This is looking pretty good for HEHE. I mean, 7 minutes in, they have 7 kills. So far, a flawless game, as a Jew tag exists with an arrow in the mid lane. It'll be very difficult for Chips to kill him off, although here comes the Wisp with the maxed out balls. Will do a lot of damage to this Viper if they all land, and they will, perfectly in sequence. That's going to be 8 kills 7 minutes into the game. Crypsis, the only thing that they have going for them is the fact that they brought down a tower. That's about it. Their Morphling is on the other end, and he's farming for Storm. They are not answering this Wisp. The Faceless Void has been shut down a little bit, but he's level 6 after getting those 2 assists. He's perfectly online now. This is looking like a perfect game for HEHE, although since I just said that, I might have just ruined it. Whatever. They're doing so well.
Yeah, it's... Man, Hawa is going for a straight up shotgun as well. Picks up a Ghost Scepter already for himself, so... Morphling, his ambitions are high at the moment. Of course, he is number 1 in last hits by 21 last hits. I mean, Shakiro safely, and he's been farming as well, but... He has 2 deaths, 0 kills in his name. Chipsign, he's just being so mobile. 2, 0, and 5 on that, just roaming Mirana. Extremely successful. Of course, Nihis has been able to help outset a lot of those kills, but... I mean, just his early aggression. 8-0, 8 minutes in. Oh, actually, Techno is gonna go, but whiff is... Oh man, that Chronosphere was a fail one. Lodasphere.
Yeah, actually just disconnected out of the game, so you're gonna have to keep going.
Okay then, well, Quicks. He still takes some damage. Actually, the Wisp balls might bring him down. The arrow tags Xenia as well. They're going to get double kill, I think. Time walk through. Yes, Techno is going for 2 more right clicks. He's going to get it, but he's going to go down under the tower. Sprouted up by Mango Banana. He's going actually for a TP out. It's not going to be a success, but Chipsign, he used his Starstorm trying to go for Mango in return, but in the end, it was a 2-for-1 exchange as the initiation. Well, it was definitely unfortunate with the Chronosphere missing, but they did get 2 kills in the end anyway. So... Fire, they're also leaving him to farm up the mid lane on the Earthshaker for the time being. Get at least his level 6. Get that Echo Slam going. Looking at the early graphs, it's a 4,000 gold lead already for HEHE. XP almost 5,000, 9 minutes into the game. They are looking so damn solid, and Chipsign, he's trying to like get another arrow on to exist. Will he actually run back far enough? Oh, so close. He saw the arrow at the last second and got the dodge on it.
Well, I mean, Crypsis, looking at their scores, I heard a 2-for-1. But I'm not seeing it because apparently the Dire must have gotten the kill somehow. So, though Crypsis are on the board, it's not nearly enough on the board. They're going to chase out Mirana, who's going to try to keep tabs of the Sand King and his stack jungling. Though Sand King is pretty much where he wants to be. He's very close to his Blink Dagger. He's level 3 Sandstorm, so he's going to clear out these creeps relatively easily. He's going to get tagged with an arrow unless he dodges it. He will dodge it. Now he's going to get the Burst Strike onto Mirana with the Skywrath Mage rotating in as well. Chipsen is going to be going down here. That's a real kill going the way of Crypsis, but again, it's a support Mirana. Who cares? Yeah,
but now Sand King has his Blink there. I guess he would have gotten it anyway within like 20 seconds from now, but... I mean, I kind of have to agree, who cares? Although, Crypsis now, they're applying some pressure of their own. Is the mech finished? Nope, exists. Actually not even too close to it unless he has something on the chicken. No, he does not. But Nature's Prophet will join in on the push, and... Since level 3 on Liquid Fire on Quicks, it should be enough. Or will it the Chronosphere up onto 3 enemy heroes? He's coming in as well, trying to help out with the Wisp balls. There's the Fisher onto 2. They get 1 kill. Exist will be next. Echo Slam comes out from Fire. Quicks eats an arrow to the back, but Critty came in with the Blink Epicenter. He's gonna get Techno at the released Fire. He goes down as well, thanks to Mango Banana coming in. So in the end, a 2-for-3 and actually didn't end up all that bad unless Mango Banana is gonna fall to Nihis potentially. No, he's not. He does make it out, but I mean, 3-for-2 just... Crypsis crit coming in with that huge epicenter, saving the day, kind of.
Chipson looking for a baller arrow onto Mango Banana. Ultimately, will hold on to it. Not even going to try. You got to try for those, but whatever. Crypsis, they take a 5v4 fight, and they ultimately come out behind. Again, they're working with just 4 heroes right now. The Morphling's just farming away. He's going for a shotgun. It's not going to be the fastest one in the world, but he's pretty much going uncontested. He's pressuring this lane out with the Ring of Aquila turned on. And the rest of the team, they're fighting perfectly reasonably without him. That's the really scary thing for Crypsis, is that no matter what they do, no matter how well they take these fights, it'll always be a 4v5. Unless they completely take the win, then it's not going to benefit them in the end.
Yeah, it's definitely not. And he has a mech finish now as well, so the burst heal will be real coming up from him. And I mean, just if you're dead to somebody, the heal is so damn strong. So Faceless Void, he can actually go in pretty damn deep with his Chronosphere and just rely on the help from Nihis, or at least potentially so. Whereas Crypsis, they're not too close to their own mech. Quicks, he's trying to go for it, has the Hatred. Still some way away, but they want to apply the pressure. I mean, the tower is pretty damn low, and they will most likely get the Chronosphere still on cooldown. But Moonlight Shadow, do they really want to just... They don't have their Chronosphere. How... Is it just a Moonlight Shadow to make the enemy fearful or just intimidate them?
I mean, it must be. It was spotted out because the Wisp had his spirits going and the Dire had the Observer Ward. They did catch sight of that, so they knew that the Wisp and Earthshaker were rotating in. I don't know exactly if they knew that they were invisible, but I don't think that's really relevant because they fell back, and I think the Moonlight Shadow, though it didn't get any kills or anything like that, it served its purpose. It made the enemy team scared, and now they have a Chronosphere available with the Fissure Block to slow this creep wave up. Crypsis, they can't get this tower push going, and Crit is actually rotating out to try to deal with the Morphling, who is 800 gold closer to his shotgun than last we checked. Their pushing is just not going anywhere because HEHE are just stalling so damn well. And in fact, it's HEHE that ultimately take the tower up on top lane. Faceless Void still can teleport back to defend, and Crypsis, they can't get anything going.
I mean, if you think about it mathematically, then they're farming up 2 lanes, but Chipsan might be in trouble. He's going to get silenced up. Well, he's dead for sure. I think Ice Path will catch him, and his reaction just weren't fast enough. I have no idea why he just didn't turn around the leap straight away when he saw the Skyriff Mage +1 hero. But that's what he did. But once again, it's only a support. Faceless Void keeps on farming, as does the Morphling, so all is fine in that regard.
And Faceless Void is going to go for Mask of Madness straight into his Maelstrom. Pretty standard build for Faceless Voids as far as items are concerned. Even on the off lane, though, he's farming up very, very well, all things considered. The help from the Wisp that he's been getting has been absolutely huge, and Wisp's actually jumping back to the base just for relocate heals. He's going to bring Chipson back in, but it's mostly just to defend this tier 1, because Crypsis are pretty much focused only on this mid lane. They have no one going towards bottom and actually committing there, no one going up towards top and committing. So the number of places that they're farming is really, really low in comparison. They're going to try to go for the Morphling, though. This is going to be a very nice kill if they can secure it, and they definitely have enough disable to do so. Blink Burrow Strike should open it up. There it is with the Silence and a Mystic Flare. This is going to be the death of the Morphling. Easy peasy. He even used his Ghost Scepter to help himself die quicker, but Mango Banana getting with the Chronosphere up on top. Arrow from the side to snipe him off in the end. It will make it a 1-for-1 trade. Morphling going to get slowed down a little bit. That's what Crypsis need to do. They just need to keep doing that and just don't stop.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely do. They can't have the shotgun come out, otherwise there's a stun for more or less. But at the moment, they did the nice thing, although still, it's more than a 3,000 net worth difference between Morphling and the highest side on Crypsis. So it's still pretty bad for them. They are trying to go for some pushes as Quicks, yet another arrow lands, 5-second one assist. He's trying to be the bouncer, just trying to save Quicks, fired away. Nice Fisher comes out, Chipsan. He's gonna meet him, Echo Slam spent for it, and he picks up the kill on IO. So 6-0-6, an extremely effective mid lane IO so far.
Echo Slam being committed there, a little bit unnecessary, but hey, they got the kill nonetheless. Now Morphling, finally joining the fight, is going to participate in destroying this tier 1 tower. And Crypsis with the Jakiro down, that was the farmer on their side. They're not going to be able to defend this. Even though Sand King is in a perfect position for an epicenter, going in on this is going to result into death for sure. Wisp going to refill his bottle, it looks like, and try to heal everyone up when he comes back. This Wisp is contributing a lot, and he'll be able to overcharge the Faceless Void or the Morphling in this scenario. Either way, they're both going to be putting out a ton of damage. This tower is going to be epicenter channeled. There's a blink in for an epicenter onto 2. Techno Roshan's going to be blown up instantly, and Hua jumping down pretty low as well, but he's going to turn this around onto Crit. Get hit with an arrow, but it won't be enough. Waveform out as goes for Mango Banana. Chipson going to jump right in, trying to go for Crit, but he will get himself sprouted, and he'll probably go down in those trees. He will, but ultimately a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Crypsis. The Wisp still alive as Fire off to the sides. Will throw out one more Fissure. We'll catch onto 2. Morphling going to get regenerated up quite a bit by this Wisp, but his Wisp is quickly running out of regeneration. The Skyriff Mage getting way too over aggressive, going to drop as well. 2 for 2, and it looks like the tower is still in a little bit of danger because Morphling, very, very healthy. He wants to go in onto Exist. Another Fissure, another Waveform. That's going to be the death of the Viper. No Waveform needed, in fact. It's a monster kill for this Wisp, and the tower will go down. Once again, HEHE take a better fight, and this is going to give Morphling that crucial gold for his shotgun. It is looking very, very grim for Crypsis right now.
Yeah, it most certainly is, and well, Nihis once again, he's actually been using the relocate so many times to just get back home, refill the bottle, get full mana, get full HP, and then come back. He actually even went for Boots of Travels as well. But that fight, Faces Void, he got blown up immediately. Nothing about it. But, I mean, Hava, he was just so damn tanky, or rather, Nihis was keeping him alive. The Chronosphere, he just barely catches Mango Banana. Should be an easy kill. Waveform through, few more right clicks, and they do get it. Nihis, actually, he's the one to pick it up. Godlike streak, 9-0-7. But crit, the burst attack onto Tekno. Will the Mystic Flare follow? Yes, it will, but the mech comes out from Nihis. They keep him alive. The silence is still there, but they're going for the man fight. Overcharge, keeping him alive for the time being, but exist. Everybody's coming in. It's a huge mistake by HEHE. They're overextending, or are they? Shotgun, crit, he goes down. Hava, he's still alive, but Nihis, if he falls now, yeah, he's gonna lose a crap ton of gold, man. Or give away, rather, crap ton. Exist, 1.3k gold now.
I think he should not get that over aggressive. It's a great way to lose a game thinking you're a lot more ahead than you are, but Morphling still in the trees, gonna wait for him down and kill out the Skywrath Mage. Surprise, the Morphling is still there. They lose the Wisp, and that's a lot of gold going the way of the Viper. It's gonna put him very close to his Aghanim Scepter, but I think at this point he can't afford to make these mistakes and get away with it because they are so far ahead, and their Morphling is going to be able to 100-0 pretty much anyone he gets his hands on, with the exception of the Viper. Everyone else is just so extremely vulnerable to the shotgun. But they stuck around for a little bit too long. They could have easily gotten out of there with just that one Nature's Prophet kill, making a little bit of a mistake, but ultimately not going to matter in the long run, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, since Morphling, he got a lot out of it, of course. That's going to be nice. 1.3k gold, giving it away to Exist, which means that now suddenly he's going to have his Aghanim Scepter in only 50 gold, which he will finish up with this creep wave here.
Top lane, relocate. Mango Banana is so screwed.
And Chipsign, he still has the Invis rune as well. He spots out the other two. They don't follow up. Chronosphere still on cooldown for another 6 seconds. Knees. What? He actually relocated out just as fire was coming in.
Sure. Why not, I guess. In the meantime, bottom lane, another Blink Burrow Strike and a Mystic Flare setup is going to kill off the Morphling, who probably was sitting at very high amounts of agility. So Morphling, though he is capable of killing off pretty much anyone he finds, he has to be respectful of the Skywrath Mage damage output. It's always dangerous. If you're an agility hero, it's even more so. So picking off the Morphling is what Crypsis have to do, but really the other heroes are starting to become pretty large threat as well. Namely this Faceless Void, who's just getting so much with being helped by the Wisp. And now he's going to go in once again. Chronosphere on to Exist with the overcharge. The damage is huge. Aghanim Scepter on the Viper will keep him alive, but Arrow will tag him before he can get the Viper Strike off. Easy kill on top lane again.
Yeah, and man, I have to say Chipsign has been doing a pretty nice job on the roaming Mirana. Some mistakes, maybe yes, but all in all, he's been creating a lot of space, or at least that's what he did early on, which bought enough time for Nihis, Hawa, as well as even Tekno to just get the farm. And looks like they will get the tier 2, but they're relocating to the bottom lane. Shotgun onto Crit is still alive. Nihis, they want to chase down somebody, but actually can't make up their mind. Crit, he just burst through, going for the TP out. He's gonna succeed as well, as will Mango Bananas. So everybody actually makes it out from the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's not a terribly huge deal, though. They spend a relocate to try to fight something, and even though they don't find anyone, Techno Roshan was still up on top lane, still took down a tier 2 tower uncontested, and now they're hunting down Quicks. Fire has a 4-staff and a fissure. I don't think he has vision of Quicks, and he might get some help from across the trees. Arrow will fly, will whiff, as Quicks does turn around for an ice path, but here comes the real dangerous hero. Faceless Void has arrived. Mask of Madness is going to chase down this Jakiro, who has phase boots actually, so he's moving pretty quick. Now there's another 4-staff forward for a fissure onto Quicks. Not going to do it just yet. And now Fire in the Moonlight Shadow is going to try to hide, and he will show his face for just a little bit. Blink forward from Crit. He's going to get a Sandstorm out. Techno Roshan still thinking about jumping forward, but now the sentry's dropped and Sanking will back off. Ultimately, I think everyone should survive, although still the Morphling has that double barrel, and he's looking for a target. The Viper is going to be running forward and does have that corrosive skin chain going on, so this is actually a lot of damage going the way of Viper.
Yeah, it's so annoying when you replicate that hero. It's actually one of the strongest illusions to get, at least. Definitely from Crypsis' side, that's probably the best thing to get. And he just keeps on ticking down, corrosive on both of them, and Exist at some point, he's gonna have to run all the way home.
What the hell?
I have no idea, but
Yeah.
I mean, just the map control HEHE are getting. There's only one tower still left, and he's actually going for a BKB.
They see the Nature's Prophet, who instantly teleports out. He got 2 shots on the Courier, brought it down to 8 HP. That would have been the Yasha and the Maelstrom denied. A huge pickoff from Crypsis if they take it out, but the Courier does survive. And he does also, the Nature's Prophet does get out as well, so he doesn't actually spend anything for it, but really ballsy play from him.
Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to go big at the moment. Although, looking at the graphs, a 12,000 gold lead for HEHE, about 10,000 in XP as well. They are definitely looking good. And of course, their late game is most likely better here as well. I mean, Faceless Void Morphling, just absolute beasts, and on top of that, an pretty damn farmed IO keeping them alive.
Now with a BKB, this Wisp is just so damn tanky and difficult to bring down. And usually it's like you either burst down the Wisp tether target or the Wisp, and usually it's the Wisp because he's just softer. This time you have to, well, try to focus down the Morphling or the Faceless Void first. It's possible with the Mystic Flare, but it's very difficult. And, well, they can go for Roshan. They have a Faceless Void who could pretty much solo it, especially if he has the Wisp to back him up with the bottle charges and the overcharge and stuff like that. So looks like they are going to go right into it. Techno is going to start bashing up Roshan, and with his Mask of Madness and overcharge attack speed, it should be really safe because it's pretty much just perma-bash.
Yeah, and I mean, the only thing they have to be afraid of is still the Sand King Epicenter, which actually is level 2 now as well, but the Eye of Spirits, he's just trying to scout out just enough action. They're gonna go in, they're gonna go for Shenya, solo Chronosphere, but they don't care. Scarf Mage down, doesn't have a buyback, even Moonlight Shadow came out. I guess they can try to just angle for some more at the moment, but they're running into sentries now.
Yeah, and their burst damage without the Skywrath Mage is pretty much non-existent. Fire and Chipson gonna scout everything out. The Fissure's there, not yet, it's available. They're going to throw some stars first. Quick's is gonna take that one. Jakiro is a fairly tanky hero, but they're just running interference. 2 supports forcing back the entirety of Crypsis. That's gonna be Roshan, picked up by the Morphling, and now I think it's gotta be a free tier 2 tower, although Faceless Void gonna jump forward. Won't find anyone just yet. They're just exerting their dominance, HEHE. Their map control is almost just, it's undeniable, their map control, and with a quick relocate up to top lane in order to clear this wave out, they're going to jump back, and soon enough I think this tier 2 mid lane tower will die. Crypsis can mount a defense, but it'll be very messy and it'll be very risky.
Yeah, that time when Chipson wants to get yet another arrow. The Fisher actually doesn't connect on any heroes, unfortunately, but they're still looking so damn good, especially with that Aegis now. It's what's actually going to stop them. They need a huge epicenter, to be honest, I think, for Crypsis.
Yeah, that's really their only shot, and opening up onto Io, chain stunning him so no BKB, but they can't actually burst him down. Now the BKB is there. Wisp can turn this one around, but he doesn't have any people to help him. That's a BKB forced out 10 seconds. Not a bad win for Crypsis, and also Nature's Prophet down on bottom is just doing split pushing business, and well, they're kind of asking for it by having the Wisp that far out of position, but they still have a very nice opportunity here because their Morphling is stacked. He could put everything he has into agility and then shotgun someone and then start morphing strength immediately. He has an Aegis in case things get really hairy, but Crypsis, outside of that burst potential on one hero, they don't really have that much else. They're pretty much going for pushing with this Jakiro getting so much farm, but Jakiro at this stage is a pretty irrelevant hero.
Yeah, it's just all in all, a Jakiro core is an extremely risky thing to go for. And well, he started with 0-2-0. It's just dying twice on the safe lane, although they were up with a tri-lane up against a solo Faceless Void. In theory, at least, yes, Faceless Void had some help from both the IO as well as the Mirana, but just didn't work out for the Jakiro all that much. I mean, they've only been able to destroy all the tier 1 towers. Nature's Prophet is trying to rat it out on the tier 2 bottom lane, but they just don't have the farm for it. And just looking at the last hits already, Morphling sitting at 178, whereas Crypsis' highest is the Viper with 86. So almost a 100 last hit difference already.
It's a disgusting advantage right now for HEHE. It's just a matter of actually ending the game at this point, because the advantage as this game continues is going to be even more in favor of the Radiant because of the fact that they have a Morphling as well as a Faceless Void. So here's the unpause, and we'll see what HEHE could do with this. They haven't really taken that many face-to-face heads-up fights, but they're definitely more than capable of doing it. Once they have the Chronosphere, of course. It's got to wait for 5 seconds to get that. After which, it'll be a free pick, and the Skywrath Mage going hit with an arrow to start things off. Chronosphere is available, but the Shotgun is there. Not going to kill him off just yet, but the Wisp will kill him off in the end. Plows on through with his balls, and that is going to be the end of that hero. Skywrath Mage down, and that was still without the Chronosphere, so they're going to save that one for next. Morphling kind of low on mana, but it's not really a terribly huge deal. He'll use the Aegis if he needs to.
Yeah, and Earthshaker, he's level 11. He has a 4-staff and a Blink Dagger now as well, 24 minutes in. Just the global gold and the gold from kills they're getting is so damn ridiculous, but Sand King has a Veil of Discord now actually, so if you can get that huge epicenter, it might be enough, although I have my doubts, especially since Morphing does have the Aegis and sitting at 1.8k HP, so not even just morphing into agility all that much.
Yeah, he didn't even need to morph that much agility in order to
Oh.
kill off the Scarlet Mage. There's the Epicenter in, trying to go for Techno, but the mech heal, it's going to keep him alive for now, and he can turn around for a Chronosphere. He will land it onto 3, although also catches 2 of his allies. He's going to be forced to book it, or else he will die, and he looks like he will barely survive, although no, he does end up dying to the Corrosive Skin in the end. Boss still dropping pretty low, but there's the Echo Slam onto 3. The combo from Fire, not enough to get any kills, although Exist getting hit with an arrow. He's going to go down now. There's another Burst Strike in from Crit. Wisp still doing a lot of damage, and the Enchant Totem going to stun him through that Sandstorm, and that's going to be it. The Morphling respawning, he's going to come back, and it's going to be a clean sweep of Crypsis heroes. They're going to call GG.
Yeah, I mean, the Echo Slam was pretty damn nice. I mean, Epicenter did a decent amount of work, but Faces Void, he still got his ultimate off and just almost made it out thanks to He's keeping alive for a pretty long time. But guys, they do win this game, so they are looking still pretty damn good to actually reach the playoffs. Maybe a little bit shaky with that last loss up against my Insanity, but if they win the next game, they're still looking pretty good. So guys, we're heading into game 2 now, where Crypsis, they have a just chance to redeem themselves, throw up the series. And of course, as always, thank you so much for watching and tuning in, supporting us as was the Join Dota League. And of course, Mike Loris, man, thanks for casting with me, and be sure to follow him at Mike Loris on both Twitter as well as Twitch. But see you in game 2, guys.